Hello and welcome to First Chapter Friday. My name is Megan and normally I work at the Bayview branch of Milwaukee Public Library as a children and teen librarian. Today I'm coming to you from my house. Since we can't share great exciting books with you in person, we thought we would share some with you online today. So I'm going to be reading some short chapters from Dig by A.S. King. And we can read this book today thanks to Dutton, an imprint of Penguin Random House. So this is a book about 5 seemingly unrelated teens. So we have the Shoveler, the Freak, Can I Help You, First Class Malcolm, and Loretta the Flea Circus Ringmistress. And to top it all off, all of these chapters somehow relate back to potatoes. So that's the picture on the front there. And that's what really got me hooked, so I hope you are interested. We're going to start off with Chapter 1, Marla and Gottfried's Easter Dinner, April 1st, 2018. Marla Hemmings is hiding neon-colored plastic Easter eggs in the front flower bed. 4 feet behind her, Gottfried is hacking at a patch of onion grass with a trowel. He stops to watch 2 spring robins chirp from a limb. Do you think these are too hidden? Marla asks. Gottfried goes back to his onion grass. They'll find 'em. That's not what I asked. They always find 'em. Gottfried looks back at the robins. He thinks of a day back when he'd just learned to drive, 17 at the most. Did he say that out loud? Marla looks at him as if he did. He thinks it again. 17 years old. Driving that finned 1960 Dodge Matador wagon his whole family used to fit into for car trips to the beach or his faraway track meets. Warm day, just like this one. Easter coming. The 2 robins dancing in the middle of the road. He thought they were dancing. Then he thought they were fighting. Then he knew what they were doing. 17 is old enough to know what robins do in the springtime. Going to the side now, Marla says. She adjusts her gardening apron, picks up her basket of gleaming plastic eggs, and watches Gottfried looking at the robins. You'll have to get the ham on soon. Ham, Gottfried says. Gotcha. Marla shakes her head. She wonders sometimes if her husband is losing his mind. He only ever needed to go to work and mow the lawn. She raised 5 children and did all the work that came with it, and she isn't losing her mind. The car was going too fast to stop. The robins were jumping up, then landing for another session, then rising again. By the time Gottfried got near enough to them to know he was going to hit them, he couldn't slow down more than he had already. 30 miles per hour to a robin is fast enough. Before he took the car home, he drove all the way across town to the automatic car wash. During the spray cycle, he cried. Gottfried never believed in the resurrection. Marla's insistence on the perfect Easter egg hunts since the kids were little annoyed him. Her obsession with them now that they were grandchildren was infuriating, especially considering their grandchildren were mostly grown. Teenagers. When she asks questions like that, did he think the eggs were too hidden? He wonders if Marla is losing her mind. She says, and don't forget to peel the potatoes. He throws the lumps of onion grass into the woods that surround the house. He goes inside and washes his hands. He puts the ham in the roaster. He empties a 5-pound bag of potatoes in the sink, retrieves the peeler from the drawer. As he slices the skin off inch by inch, he thinks of the robins and cries. And our next chapter is from The Shoveler, Tunnels on the Surface of the Moon. Control the brain and the rest is easy. I think about this as I walk home from Mike's. He probably wasn't talking to me directly. He probably doesn't know about my brain. Mom doesn't even know about my brain. How would I tell her? When would I tell her? Is there a certain time of day that she can actually stop thinking about herself? My brain is none of her business, even if it's trying to drive me crazy. Every hour since that 5:33 a.m. phone call, my brain has a new distraction. Stevenson, Richardson, Davidson, Hutchinson, Robinson, Jefferson, Johnson. Every day since I could wonder, it wonders where half of me is. Ever since I could tally myself, I am half here. Family Tree Project, 2nd grade. I'd have preferred to dissect my own foot while it was still attached to my ankle. Florida. The teacher drew the tree on a whiteboard, drew lines around it, filled in the lines, her mother, her father, her sister, 2 brothers, her husband, her children, her nieces, her nephews, her pets. Just for fun, she said. I drew my tree. I drew my tree big on the paper, and she said, "Sweetheart, you haven't left any room for your family." I had one of those fat crayons in my hand. I wrote Mom across the top of the tree. I wrote me in the middle of the trunk of the tree. Mrs. 2nd grade stood for a minute, and I heard it. I heard it click in her head, and I heard her heart break for poor little me. Never had a chance. No limbs, no leaves, no twigs, no pets just for fun. I got an A. This kid in my class did his tree on a piece of paper so big he had to unroll it. Went back 4 generations. 4 generations. The handwriting wasn't even his. He called me out for getting an A. He said he should be the only one with an A. Mrs. 2nd grade said, "Your grades are not based on your family size." Our next passage comes to us from Malcolm, White People. I don't know if it was hanging out in Negril, or with Eleanor, or being raised by my dad, but I've never understood white people who can't admit they're white. I mean, white isn't just a color, and maybe that's the problem for them. White is a passport. It's a ticket. The world is a white amusement park, and your white skin buys you into it. A woman in economy argued with me about this once. She said, "I've heard this idea and it makes me uncomfortable." "Probably should," I said. Dad and I have been broke since he got cancer, and sometimes he can't put the heat over 62 or put food in the fridge. But we were always white, and he always made sure I knew that. Which sounds stupid, because how can a person not know they're white, right? You don't have to be racist to not know you're white. But sometimes you do. And Marla has no idea that she's white or that the whole world was made for people like her. All right. And our final excerpt comes from The Freak Picks Up the Phone and Talks to Dirt. The dirt talks to the freak. It calls her on the phone and tells her to warn her new friend. This isn't freshly plowed farm dirt. It's clay, mostly. Red clay. The freak doesn't like it when the dirt talks. Sometimes she feels it all around her, wrapped like a tortilla around shredded chicken. Sometimes she can taste it in her mouth. Sometimes she can't clear her nose of it and can't breathe. Warn your friend with the shovel. Things aren't what they seem. The freak has no interest in the boy with the shovel anymore. She got him a job. She told him about her dream brain man. She's done her part. The dirt says there's something the boy needs to know. The dirt says there's an answer right next door. The dirt never lies. It's one thing the freak loves about the dirt. It's the cleanest thing going, and look at the reputation it gets. The freak understands. Been there. Done that. If you enjoyed these chapters from Dig by A.S. King, you can get a copy at the library using our curbside pickup or online through the Overdrive app. To find similar books, check out our novelist database on mpl.org. I will link it below for you. Thank you for listening, and be sure to check out our Teens of MPL and MPL Creates Instagram pages. And for more teen content and programming, check out mpl.org. Thanks!